Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the For the Love of Wrestling podcast. It is time. It has been a while since you've seen me. I am here along with Connor and Josh. Fellas, say hello.
Hello, it's nice to be back.
It is very nice to be back.
We've chosen the perfect time to return. You guys probably haven't seen me in over a year. You haven't seen these guys in a few months. Some scheduling issues, but I promise that will change. I will be here every week to give you this podcast if I have to do it myself. Before we get into SummerSlam, NXT Takeover, we got the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 28. It happened. Was one of the best in my eyes, the best G1 to ever happen. Probably like 10 matches that could be match of the year. Personally, Kenny Omega against Tetsuya Naito was the best match, but it's arguable. Just to run down the winner in the finals, it was Hiroshi Tanahashi against Kota Ibushi. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace of the universe, defeats Kota Ibushi. Shocked some people, didn't shock me, as Kota Ibushi is not signed to like a written contract with New Japan, and Tanahashi is. So right now, one half of the main event of Wrestle Kingdom next year, January 4th, Hiroshi Tanahashi will main event yet another Wrestle Kingdom. But will Kenny Omega still be champion? Actually, will Kenny Omega still be in Japan is the question. What do you guys think about that? You think Kenny Omega is still going to be in Japan by Wrestle Kingdom?
I'm hoping Kenny Omega's still champion by Wrestle Kingdom.
I do too, but I kind of feel they might do a switch and give it back to Okada right before Wrestle Kingdom. I really feel that way. Other moments in the finals of G1, we saw Shibata make a return to be in Tanahashi's corner. If you do not know the history of Shibata, give him a Google. What happened to him in the ring is really sad. One of the best in the business, never really got to live the prime of his career through an injury. He now trains in the New Japan Dojo, and he said he has not retired. We might see him wrestle again, but it's highly doubted. They set up Rey Mysterio against Okada, which should be good. Before we take over to SummerSlam, there's something that we should talk about. Just a few minutes, and I'll let you guys talk about this. That's the passing of Jim Neidhart.
Man, that was just, it was so, like, out of the blue. I mean, I know, like, you don't expect, like, sometimes you see, like, certain people's passing coming, but his was a complete surprise. Happened, I think it was Monday?
It was Monday, yeah.
Yeah, it was Monday morning, I believe.
Yeah, I was just saying, I remember hearing about it Monday, but I wasn't sure if it was that day or Sunday. Yeah. But yeah, like, hearing about it Monday, I was like, whoa, like,
it was
completely out of the blue.
He was young too, 63 years old.
You what?
He was young too. I mean, he was only 63.
Yeah, that's pretty young if you really think about it.
And the other really unfortunate part is he was trying his hardest to get back to a healthy standpoint as well.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got to feel for Natalya. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my dad's still alive, but I know plenty of people
I think as wrestling fans, we forget that the wrestlers on TV have families. Like, they have parents. You know, we see Natalya every week, whether she's face or heel. She's been in the WWE since it's been at least 10 years, probably more than that, honestly. You forget that Jim Neidhart's her father at times. And you forget she was born into this family. And she had, it's just the way the wrestling business was in the 80s and 90s. Jim Neidhart lived a reckless lifestyle. There's many shoots where Bret Hart said Jim Neidhart liked to party. And sometimes after you retire from the business, that part never leaves. It looked like he was getting on the right track. He was a comic relief in Total Divas, which, was a nice little role for him. It's just really sad,
It is.
When wrestler... All right, go ahead.
I will also say a lot of people were mad at the facts, but I really appreciated that Ronda came out and explained the situation because Natalia was booked to face Alexa Bliss, but of course, rightfully so, couldn't make the show. Her father just passed away, so I thought that was also a very classy move on WWE's part.
Yeah, see,
It
was smart. I know a lot of people saw it as, they're just trying to get Ronda over. But I didn't see it like that, for 2 reasons. Ronda's already over. Okay? So,
Yeah.
so people already cheer her when she's there. So that's not that.
Yeah.
The second thing is you had to address it. You couldn't. WWE has gotten heat many times over deaths when they haven't mentioned it. Like Vader, they didn't mention it, and people gave them shit for it.
That upset me when they didn't really talk about it.
It doesn't upset me when they don't talk about it. The reason why is because they don't have to. It's not their job.
True.
Unfortunately, their job's to entertain.
I love wrestlers, and they gave him a collection on the network. He was on .com. The thing is, it's different with Jim Neidhart than Vader, and the difference is his daughter is in the company. If Vader's son was still wrestling in the company, they would have done the same thing. But it's not, and that's the difference. And I think having Ronda do it was better because Natalya was not there. And Tyson Kidd wasn't there. You don't have anybody else in the family there.
And Ronda is currently billed, unless if, of course, Natalya or somebody turns heel as Natty's best friend, and regardless, they're best friends in real life.
Yeah. At least the storyline-wise, the whole storyline is Natalya helped get her ready. So that's the whole.
Exactly.
So it makes sense logically, and in a kayfabe version. We've lost. Another one I want to talk. We mentioned Vader. We had to mention this guy just because he died recently too. That's Brian Christopher.
Yes.
First thing I want to say, I know Jerry Lawler has said he thinks it's foul play. Whether there is, whether there isn't. Brian Christopher had demons. He had them for a long time.
He did.
It's not easy being the son of one of the most famous wrestlers of the 70s and 80s. And he started wrestling in a time where the lifestyle was drinking and drugs. I've seen Brian Christopher at a lot of independent shows. You can easily tell he was high on something. Mostly probably pain pills. You could tell he was in a lot of pain in a lot of matches. The one thing people shouldn't forget about Brian, he was a great wrestler. He really was. He was just around in a time where his size was not a good thing for him. I always said he was in the business 20 years too early.
I will also say, and I would like to give him a shout out, but Jerry Lawler and Brian were part of a company that I recently saw a couple weeks ago called Northeast Wrestling, and it was really nice of them. They did a 10-bell salute in his honor because Jerry was supposed to be at the show, but unfortunately the news broke recently that Brian didn't beat pass, and you can't help but feel for Jerry in the situation he's in because, like, Ty said, there is suspicion that it was foul play. There's even more suspicion now because the coroner is saying that the injuries that were on his body do not match up to the original report.
Yeah,
exactly. And just like the Natalia situation, and he just lost his son. He's not gonna be at the show. If I lost somebody that close to me, I would not be able to be there.
Yeah. Last thing I want to add about the Brian Christopher, right after the death, Jerry Lawler did wrestle a match, independent show. Cannot remember the name of the show, but it's easily found on YouTube. A lot of popular people have talked about it all over Twitter. He faced James Ellsworth, Jerry Lawler, wrestled in Brian Christopher's attire. It was, a very comedy-filled match, but it was very a Brian Lawler type match from his day. It's sad because Brian Lawler was in his mid-40s. He's a young person. He was not, and the worst part about this for Jerry, past 10 years, Jerry's lost his brother, He lost his mother. And now he loses his son. So,
You know,
for a parent, the worst thing you can do is lose a child. I think.
and not to mention, too, Ty, his heart attack.
Yeah. And as a parent, you always want your child to live longer than you do. And
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel for Jerry Lawler, and it sucks. But that's how the wrestling business is. It happens. You move on, and that sounds awful when you say it out loud, but it's the way it is. And
The show must go on.
yeah, so we're gonna move on to NXT Takeover. Before we talk about predictions, because there's gonna be some predictions, we got to talk about one thing. The one thing that's been the hot topic of NXT the past week and a half. Who attacked Aleister Black?
Classic case of who done it.
So, who do you guys think? Name one guy who attacked Aleister Black.
I am going to throw a dark horse in this. I'm saying Gargano.
You think he's gonna turn heel?
I think he's going to turn heel. I could see them doing something along the lines of maybe a reuniting of DIY. I don't know for sure. The other more logical case is Sullivan.
The thing is, at Gargano, you can do it without turning him heel. You can make it more of an obsession. You don't have to sort of say turn him heel to align with Ciampa.
Yes.
But an obsession to take the title from Ciampa. So, that makes sense.
Like, I wanted just us to be us two.
So, who do you think, Connor?
See, I feel like Sullivan and Gargano are just too obvious of choices. In my opinion, of course they both make sense.
They do.
They both make all the sense in the world.
Ciampa makes sense too.
Do what?
Ciampa always makes sense too. Oh.
Yeah.
Who?
Ciampa.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
WWE
like they even said he's the most likely choice.
Yeah.
Like Ciampa wants it to be a one-on-one match.
Yeah.
Gargano wants Ciampa. Sullivan was the last person to face him before Ciampa. I mean, to face Black before Ciampa. So, I feel like those are all just too...
They're too obvious, yeah. Yeah. I get you. So, who do you think?
I feel like we're going to get a surprise. And, I keep battling with it, but it could possibly be somebody. I don't remember who it was now, but somebody was talking to us about it possibly being Cassius Ohno. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that stupid decision if you do it. It's one of the dumbest choices. I'd rather be Shayna Baszler than Cassius Ohno. That's how dumb it would be. I get people get mad at me when I say this, and I love Cassius Ohno. I love Chris Hero. Great worker.
Right.
But he's not ever going to get called up. It's never going to happen.
Other choices that were thrown around by the group tonight when we were talking about it, one was Keith Lee.
That would be interesting.
One was Keith Lee, and the other, which is an obvious, and I know we're talking about him later in the podcast, but Matt Riddle.
Now I'm going to say my version. I don't think it's any of the guys you just mentioned.
I don't either.
Neither do I.
There was a group that appeared for the first time in that YouTube video. It was ran by a guy that used to be in TNA called Gunner.
Oh.
I think it's them. I can't remember what his name was. They changed his name twice already, but he is the first time he's appeared in front of a camera.
Are you talking about Buddy Murphy's group?
No.
The other guys?
It's Gunner's group, actually, to be honest with you. He's the leader of the group. I think it's them.
Gotcha.
And I'll tell you why. What's the biggest way to make an impact? Lay out Aleister Black.
The biggest guy there.
Lay out Aleister Black.
See, and this may be too early, but again, I'm going to throw a curveball and say it's going to either be a. See, it all depends on. See, I just have two people in mind. They're both facing each other, and I don't know why. I've just got these two in mind. I'm thinking either EC3 or Dream.
I don't think it's Dream.
Dream is currently rumored to move up to the main roster.
I don't buy Dream's gimmick as a guy that attacks someone in the parking lot. I don't.
Well, see, I agree. So that's why I was leaning a little bit more towards
EC3 makes sense. EC3 makes sense. Like, I don't see the motive yet, but they could make it to make a.
I mean, well, think about it. He's been trying to be that top guy, and he's like, I want more competition, and that's like with the whole.
And the thing too is EC3 is not, for me at least, and my parents will say the same thing. He's not believable to me as a face at all.
No,
I do not buy him
he's
as a
too
face.
arrogant.
He seems to be a cocky, egotistical heel.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he would ever be a face. Like, that's just weird.
It's because people cheer him. People love EC3 because he's a really good talker.
Well, yeah, but still.
I think he's a better heel. He's better off the heel. Now, we talked about that. Josh mentioned Matt Riddle. Does Matt Riddle show up at TakeOver? Whether it's in the crowd, that would probably be because that's how they debut everybody. But will he be there? And who do you guys think his first feud will be?
So I'm seeing Riddle show up almost in the way that Adam Cole showed up.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best way of doing it, is having him debut by attacking somebody or something, maybe showing up in the main event, staring down whomever wins the championship. Make it a big deal.
Honestly,
because he is a big signing.
If you're gonna do that route, I would do is have him come out in the main event and just lay out both Ciampa and Gargano. Just do it. Like, make fans wonder if he's a heel or face.
Yes.
And don't ever expose if he's a heel or face. Just have him beat the shit out of him. Just send a message, and so that way you can have Gargano not win the title, but look good, and Ciampa to retain the title and still have that cowardly type retain where he can come out the next week and say, I'm still champion.
True.
What about you, Connor? What do you think? Who do you think his first feud's going to be with?
See, I can't really talk about him much because I don't really know a lot about Matt Riddle. I'm just being honest here. But
sometimes I wish you'd lie.
I've seen a few matches. I think Josh sent me. It was one of you two who actually
sent you Matt Riddle against Cody Rhodes.
See, I don't remember that one. I saw a match with Matt Riddle and Tommaso Ciampa.
I sent that one too. Yeah.
I think it was Josh who sent me that one, but that match was just awesome. And
we're here saying TakeOver, but who's the other UFC guy in WWE? I think that other person has a match on Sunday.
Cain Velasquez?
What?
No,
Brock
you're
Lesnar.
talking about Brock.
Oh, I think you're talking about who's the UFC guy coming in.
So, why not? If you want to debut Matt Riddle the strongest way possible, have Lesnar beat Roman. Have Matt Riddle just beat the hell out of Brock Lesnar.
Interesting.
Let's be honest here. The WWE likes MMA guys. Matt Riddle was an MMA guy. He was really good in the UFC. The only reason why the UFC doesn't talk about Matt Riddle because he smoked a little weed, let's be honest about it, and he trashed Dana White for being a hypocrite, which Dana White is, but I digress.
He spoke the truth? Gasp.
But how do you make a star overnight? Have them take out Brock Lesnar.
The problem with that theory, though, is Matt Riddle And I'm going to just do this comparison because this is the best way to describe it. Matt Riddle is basically not AJ Styles.
No, he's not AJ Styles.
He's a big indie name, yes, but I cannot see him coming in and taking the championship off of Brock.
Yes, okay.
Yeah,
no, he's not taking the title off Brock. He's not beating Brock for the title. I say Matt Riddle beats the hell out of Brock with Paul Heyman. He leaves. Strowman cashes in. I don't think Riddle should be champion yet. I think if you're going to do a cash in, you have to make the most of it. Have Paul Heyman come out with Matt Riddle.
That's true.
Is that insane? Matt Riddle, for a lot of his career, was called Mini Lesnar. That was what fans called him because of where he came from. Yeah, you could debut him in NXT, and people say, well, he's not known to be well enough to be in WWE main roster. Now, let me ask a question. In 2002, Brock Lesnar beat The Rock at SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar had only been in the company for 3 months.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Brock Lesnar at the same popularity as The Rock was in 2002. If you want to be really honest here, Kurt Angle won 4 titles in an 8-month span. If you want to be, yeah, people knew who AJ Styles was, but let's be really honest here. People that knew who AJ Styles were hardcore wrestling fans. They weren't casual wrestling fans. It just depends how you want to do Matt Riddle. You can have him go to NXT. You can have him dominate NXT. Bring him up to the main roster. But if Brock Lesnar has not signed a contract with you, you want to get the best out of it. And that's making Matt Riddle a megastar overnight. And the best part of it, Matt Riddle would never want to go back to the UFC.
I don't think Matt's going back to the UFC, period, because he's signed with WWE.
No, Matt Riddle, he's already said, even if he didn't sign, he would never go back to the UFC.
Yeah.
He's already said that. Since he's left, he said he would never go back there. But let's get predictions done. NXT TakeOver. We'll start with you, Josh. The show has Velveteen Dream against EC3. Who wins and why?
My honest answer is I can see Dream taking the loss and EC3 getting the win, just because the next night in roster prediction, I think we're getting Dream on Raw.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
Dream can afford to take the loss.
Yeah, about you, Connor?
See, I like that, and I also like which show he put Dream on, because I just don't see Dream on SmackDown. Velveteen Dream needs to go to Raw. But yeah, I agree. Dream can take the loss. EC3 really can't. Like, he really needs a win right now. So yeah, I got EC3, and yeah, I could see Dream going up to Raw. Maybe not quite yet, but at the same time, it completely makes sense. But yeah, EC3.
I'm picking EC3. This a simple thing is Dream's being called up. He's too over. Fans love him, even though he doesn't have the greatest win-loss record in NXT, because he always seems to be facing the top guys, Aleister Black, Ricochet, etc. But I don't have an issue with EC3 winning. He needs to win because he hasn't been doing a whole lot of that winning. So EC3 wins for me.
In this case, I completely agree. But I wish that Dream would have had a little bit more wins under the belt.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's been he's like all the matches.
He's been in great matches. It's just, there was other people were top priority, and he was there to get them
He's always going against top guys.
His job was to make them look good.
Ricochet, Aleister Black, EC3. I mean,
Okay.
God, that freaking ladder match.
Next match on
The thing about it is, though, Connor, you're gonna have to realize that I see not EC3, I see Velveteen getting so over on the main roster that I wouldn't be surprised if he went to WWE Championship or a World Championship.
That's what I was gonna say next. I was gonna say I really want to see him with a title, really bad.
Just because the crowd is going to fall for him so quickly.
Yes.
oh
And my
man,
Vince
Vince McMahon is not going to make no black man his world champion. Let's be honest here.
We can dream.
You gotta realize, though, Ty, that Vince is going to be out of the picture soon.
Yeah, I hope.
Ty.
That Vince lives to be 150.
No, but Ty, listen. We can always dream.
Oh, you're just so corny. You're just the worst. Next match, is for the tag team titles. Mustache Mountain against the Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. Who you got and why?
We going in the same order, Ty?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am calling Undisputed simply because I cannot see B and 7 winning the NXT Tag Team Championship.
What about you, Connor?
Oh, sorry. I thought he was going to say more there. I'm kind of in the middle on this one, only because who I want to be the champions, Undisputed Era, yes. But at the same time, we could possibly see them go up soon. So, and I would love that, to be completely honest, but I think I'll stick with Undisputed.
Undisputed Era is going to win it. I'll give you one reason why. I don't have to really explain it. The NXT United Kingdom brand is like taping the end of this month.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not. Yeah. They're not going to give the two of the top UK guys the other brand's tag team titles going in to the tapings.
To the UK brand.
Yeah. They might win the UK tag titles in the first show or something.
Here comes Ty with logic.
But here's a thing to your statement, Connor, and this actually goes into a prediction for a match later. I believe that before Adam Cole gets called up, Adam Cole's going to be NXT champion. I firmly believe that.
I would 100% love that.
Speaking of that, let's go right to that match then. Let's go right to the match then. Adam Cole defending his NXT North American title against Ricochet. Who you got and why?
Ricochet, simply because I firmly believe that Triple H is incredibly behind Adam Cole. And I think Adam Cole is going to be the first person to hold the NXT Championship, the North American Championship, and if they do count the Freebird rule, the NXT Tag Team Championship. Therefore, he's the first ever NXT Grand Slam champion.
Well, you have to count it because he has defended the NXT Tag Team titles. So you would have to count it because he has been in a match where they're on the line. Who you got, Connor?
I'm hoping this doesn't continue to be the case, but I gotta agree. Like, it looks like Ricochet's getting it, and we really need Adam Cole, baby, to climb that NXT championship list.
I disagree.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
And I'll tell you why. I have a good reason. I have a really good reason. I think Adam Cole wins, and I don't think Ricochet's the guy that beats him for it.
I jinxed it.
And I tell you why. I tell you why. Remember that 6-way ladder match for the title? Okay, you remember that it was one of the best matches NXT's ever had. There was a spot in that match.
100%.
There was a spot in the match where EC3 mocked Adam Cole. I think the whole point of EC3 beating Velveteen Dream is EC3 is going to be the one to beat Adam Cole.
Ooh.
I think that's the thing.
Okay.
I think while Adam Cole and EC3 are in NXT, the whole story arc is gonna be who's the best. And that's what it's gonna come down to. And that's how I feel it will be. I think Ricochet will put up a great performance. Ricochet will one day be NXT champion. But actually, I honestly, later we will talk about call-ups, but I think Ricochet is not going to be NXT long. I don't really think he has to be. I think 205 Live needs him more.
Please no.
I think Ricochet is going to go to 205 Live, and I think he is going to be the guy to put it on a pedestal that's never been seen before.
True.
Because NXT doesn't need Ricochet.
I actually agree with Ty on that statement.
NXT doesn't need Ricochet.
Oh, no, I agree.
They have enough stars. 205 Live needs people like Ricochet. You gotta. I know a lot of people don't like the independent darlings going right to the main roster, but 205 Live is different because with SmackDown going to Fox, 205 Live is going to have to stand out because you can no longer use the excuse that it's bad because it's right after SmackDown. Because it won't be anymore.
Yep.
It'll probably have its own day. So you have to have guys like Ricochet. And other people, we'll talk about my boy Cedric Alexander later in this video. Don't worry. But yeah. So the main event. Actually, look at the NXT Women's title event. Shayna Baszler against the woman that has my heart, Kairi Sane. Who you got and why? This really should be an easy answer.
Okay, so my honest answer, and this is going to probably, I'm sure you guys are going to disagree with me, but I'm saying it anyways. I think Shayna's doing it.
Okay.
I think Shayna's getting the win, and here's my reasoning as to why. Imagine if Shayna retains and the next night Rousey wins the Raw Women's Championship. Mind you, I believe at Evolution we are going to start planting the seeds for the 4 horsewomen of NXT versus the 4 horsewomen of UFC.
Interesting.
It's not a bad idea. It's very logical, actually. Connor, what's your dumb choice and why?
Well, you're gonna laugh. Speaking of dumb choice, I'm going with Kairi, however you say her name, Kairi Sane.
Yeah. Why?
I just feel like they've been building her a lot lately, and I know that's not really saying much because they kind of do that with everybody when a big pay-per-view's coming, but
she also won the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, she won the Classic, and they've also been kind of like teasing this match way before it even happened. Like, she had a little Twitter drop where she's like, "Oh, I'm starting to lose confidence in myself," and then all of a sudden, bam, here we go. So I feel like this is when she takes the crown.
So,
like, she. Go ahead.
You're gonna laugh, Connor. I picked Kairi Sane too, and I'll tell you why. And this is gonna battle Josh's opinion here, because I predict Ronda Rousey will lose Sunday.
What?
She will be pinned by Alexa Bliss, and you're asking yourself, no, she won't. That's Ronda Rousey. And I'm like, yes, she will, because Shayna Baszler will choke out Ronda Rousey. And that will be how Shayna Baszler gets called up. I think the 4 horsewomen thing will never. I don't think it will never happen, and it shouldn't happen.
Prediction.
And the reason why, she'll get called up, but they'll put her on SmackDown. And the reason is simple. It's simple. She stopped Rousey from being champion because she can't have Rousey be the main card women's champion before her. Think about it.
That makes sense.
Think about it. Shayna Baszler is an egomaniac. She has to live with the fact that her best friend is more popular than her, even though they have very similar win-loss records in the UFC. She has to. Rousey didn't have to go to NXT.
And Baszler was actually champion here.
Yeah, Rousey didn't have to go to NXT. You could do the whole angle where Shayna hates her. Just choke her out. You could,
Okay,
and then you could save up until Survivor Series and do Baszler against Rousey.
So before we finish NXT, I know we have one more match left, but I do have a big question before we end NXT. But let's go to the
last match. It's the third match of the series. Gargano's 1-1. Ciampa's 1-1. Last man standing. Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano. NXT title match. Who do you got and why?
My answer is going to shock a lot of people, but I think Ciampa. Yeah. Because I think, and this is my other prediction, this is my other main roster prediction. I know we're going to talk about main roster, but I see Gargano going to SmackDown.
Okay.
And that is my sole reasoning why.
How are you, Connor?
Not to mention, if you want the honest to God truth in this statement, Ciampa is currently the best heel NXT's had in a very, very long time.
He's the best heel professional wrestling has had in a long time.
And with that being said, he needs to drop the title to whomever they want to bill as NXT's next big babyface.
Are you, Connor? Connor. I swear to God, looks like Connor disappeared, so I'll just go with my prediction. So it could be, I could say it's a draw because of Matt Riddle, but let's leave the Matt Riddle theory out of the way. I think Gargano wins. And I think Gargano wins because of Candice LeRae. I think the final spot in the match will have Gargano in trouble and Candice LeRae sacrificing herself. So I think that's the best option you really got. I do agree that Connor is back. We'll see how long he is back. Those are cars. Connor's doing the podcast right now. Like I said, Gargano's...
Okay, Connor, so you're going to be the one to make your the prediction final. Gargano, Ciampa, why?
Well, Connor's being a douchebag right now. So, I'm just going to leave it at this. He picked Ciampa. I picked Gargano. We both could be wrong, honestly. It could be a draw. To be fair. So, since Connor's not here, me and Josh are going to take over until he shows up. Who do you think is going to be called up, Josh?
I am calling, and I'm still going to say it. I think we're getting Dream, and I think we're getting Gargano. The only other name, and it does go back to your theory, Ty, because your theory does indeed make sense, would be Shayna.
Yeah. I think it's going to be Velveteen Dream, Shayna, and probably Ricochet. So, yeah, that's a thing. Technical difficulties are back. Well, let's be honest. Connor has a shitty ass phone, to be honest with you.
Yes.
It's our little secret. But anyways, Connor, Gargano, and Ciampa. I picked Gargano. He picked Ciampa. What do you pick and why?
I'm going to have to agree with Josh and say Ciampa. Because right now, and some people may not believe me, Ciampa is like a major, like one of the top heels right now. Like, I can just see him like NXT needs him, so he's not getting called up yet. He's not losing the belt yet. He's gonna hold on to it for, I'd say, a good little while until.
I get Mike Gargano, those people off, and I have a reason for it. So Ciampa's really hot as a heel. But that angle where they had Gargano accidentally hit Candice, I don't know. I feel like they did it for a reason. Like,
well, honestly, like if Gargano wins, I'm not upset.
The thing is, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to milk the Gargano Ciampa story. I think if you have Gargano beat Ciampa, you can do one more match, and if you have Candice LeRae interfere, you can make it like a steel cage.
The only other prediction I have, and you guys are forgetting his name, Black still owed a rematch.
Yeah, he is. He's still owed a rematch. But the thing is, the guy that attacked him...
They can cash in on the triple threat still.
Yeah. He could, I mean, Black won't be cleared by then, obviously. My thing is, Black will probably come back. He'll get his rematch. Which that could be the big thing, where they have Gargano win, and then Black come out and make his return. And, if Gargano turns heel, you could have the footage show Gargano do it. And you could have this whole double heel turn from Gargano and Candice LeRae. It could work. There's many different variables you can have. You could have, that's the brilliance of why I watch NXT and how it's done, because there's many outcomes. When you watch the main product, it's usually one outcome. You see it coming. You know what's going to happen. And that's what makes NXT so exciting. I will admit, NXT to me, I have watched every episode of NXT since it was on Hulu when, I think Michael McGillicuddy was losing Tyson Kidd in the main events. So
I want to go that far back. I'm going too soon.
Yeah, that's I've been a fan since then. But yeah, anyways, that's NXT Takeover. Oh, Connor, who do you think's getting called up? Josh, remind the beautiful fans who you said you thought were already called up.
So my answer, Connor, to the question before technical difficulties, I said I believe Dream's getting the call up. I believe that Gargano's getting the call up, and if Ty's theory proves right, I could see Shayna getting called up because this theory makes perfect sense.
I think Shayna, Ricochet, and Velveteen Dream. Who do you think is getting called up, Connor?
So, see, I really want. You know what? I gotta agree with Josh. I'm gonna say Gargano just because I feel like this is gonna be their last hurrah. Now, I do like your idea of keeping it going, but I just feel like I feel like this is just it.
I just feel they're going to keep Gargano and Candice together on the same show. That's pretty much what I think is going to happen.
And that makes sense. That totally makes sense. So I'm going to try to not say too much of what Josh said. But yeah, Gargano would go to SmackDown. I just feel like that's just the obvious choice. Dream, also obvious choice, would go to Raw. And I'm going to say, and I know I'm probably going to get a few scratch heads here, but I'd say Black goes up.
I don't. Right? What? I need an explanation for this. I need you. You gotta explain it at least. You can't just say it and then.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I could just.
Who attacked him? Vince McMahon?
No, I'm gonna give. I could just see him getting called up just because he's done so much already, and
I think after the feud of whoever attacked him, he will, but he's not gonna get called up before they know who attacked him.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna well, yeah, that's.
I think after the next takeover, where he finally faces the guy or guys who attacked him, then he'll probably get called up. But I don't. I mean, I don't. You can't just call him up.
Interestingly enough, guys, it's working.
Yeah, War Games. I love that fucking game.
Yes.
So that goes into the theory once again of what Ty said, or guys.
Yeah, I think it's those three guys in the Gunners group, and I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, you could do Lars Sullivan, but I don't want to see another Black against Lars Sullivan match.
I don't either.
That match is kind of it was
predictable.
it was average though. It wasn't that good of a match, to be honest with you. It was decent for NXT, but it just wasn't great for an NXT title match. So we're at SummerSlam now.
Oh no, I do have.
Oh, you do have something. Oh, here we go. Hopefully, it's not more technical difficulties.
No. No, what I was going to ask earlier before we moved on from NXT is you mentioned Adam Cole and EC3 going off.
Yeah.
Who's the face? Who's the heel?
Neither. They don't have to be. They're both heels. Heel versus heel match. The story isn't about who's a face or heel. The story is about who's better.
I know, but that like rarely happens, really.
Yeah, but if it's done properly, if it's done right, you can just have the story be where they're trying to prove who's better. You know.
I understand. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So you say heel versus heel rivalry?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, Adam Cole will be cheered more. I mean, he'll act heelish, but fans are not going to boo Adam Cole.
I just can't see them booing either one.
It's because Adam Cole has a nickname. He has the catchphrase. He has the long black hair.
He's Adam Cole, baby.
He has the look as a guy you want to cheer. Okay, so SummerSlam, we got a lot of matches to get through here.
We got a lot of matches.
Oh God, yes we do.
Gosh, we're gonna start from the pre-show and move up. So
let's do it, man.
We got a tag team match for the Raw Tag Team titles. The B Team, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas against the Revival, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. Who do you got and why?
I am saying B Team simply because B Team's over, and I don't think they're going to do a title change during the pre-show.
Okay, that makes sense. What about you, Connor?
See, I gotta disagree. I don't think okay, B Team is a little over, I guess, but I just don't see them holding the titles long, and I see Revival surprising us with. Because we don't get very many title changes on the pre-show. That's very true. But that's why I think they would kind of just surprise us and be like, whoa, the Revival's finally the top guys, like they said. I just feel like it's the Revival's time.
I think the Revival wins by countouts.
Oh.
Then the next down Raw, they'll win the tag titles.
Okay, it's shady. A shady finish, okay.
Yeah,
that ending makes sense though, because I could see them pulling something like that, because the next night on Raw is supposed to be a big Raw.
Yeah, and I can see them winning the tag titles and the next night on Raw.
That makes sense, because it's okay, and they're very well known for shady finishes.
And the whole story could be, well, we beat you, but you counted it out and got counted out. You know, it could be, and then you can have them win it, you know. And it's just something simple. It's on the pre-show, so fans won't be angry about it. And there's a story to the next match on Raw.
If we are going to talk about the next Raw, before we continue down the card, I want to make another prediction, and it's a sad prediction.
What?
I believe that Monday we are going to see Matt Hardy retire.
Yeah, I do too.
Damn, that soon?
Yeah, well,
it's been rumored for a while.
Connor, did you
part of the tag team match Sunday?
Well,
I know it's coming.
I knew it was coming when I watched Raw past Monday and I saw Matt Hardy in the ring, and you could see the fear of him taking a bump. Like you could see it. Matt Hardy, you could tell he's been moving slower and slower. I think Monday, will be the retirement of Matt. Sad. They might do some spooky thing. They write him off TV too with Bray Wyatt. with Bray Wyatt turning heel or some crap like that. Which I actually hope they do something like that.
Yeah,
because it would make sense for Bray.
that's true.
And that's how you write Matt Hardy off.
Yeah.
And you can have because I'm against wrestlers doing speeches on TV. Save it for the Hall of Fame. Okay? Save it for the Hall of Fame. You'll get there. You'll be in the Hall of Fame, Matt. Save it for them. Get Bray Wyatt over. Make Bray Wyatt heel again because he should not be a babyface.
Yes.
And he's just better off as a heel. That's just who he is. The gimmick works. It works,
It doesn't make sense with him as a face at all. I don't like it.
Yeah, just have him go back to being a heel. It works. So the next pre-show match, a match that I feel should be on the main card, but it's not because some people are racist. And it's Rusev and number one Lana versus Andrade Cien Almas, as many people know, the Independents, La Sombra.
Should definitely be on the main card.
The beautiful Selena Vega. Who you got and why?
My prediction. We are getting an Andrade Selena win simply because Aiden English fucks up again. Rusev Aiden feud.
How about you, Connor?
I gotta agree. Like, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Andrade just keeps his solid momentum going. Like, he's only lost one match, and that was to the WWE champion.
Yeah,
so
that was a great match.
It was a great match, and him losing did nothing against him. Actually, I feel like it made him look really good.
I think I think Almas and Vega win. I think it's going to happen with Vega pinning Lana because she's the weak link. You don't want Rusev getting pinned here. You don't want Rusev getting pinned.
Yeah.
Lana should get pinned.
No.
I do think it'll be Aiden English screwing up, but I'm actually toyed with the fact: what if Aiden English screws Lana on purpose?
I mean,
wait, no, listen. He's such an asshole.
I'm waiting for someone to hear me.
No, he wants Rusev to himself. Rusev and Aiden English are having all the success till Lana showed up again. Aiden English could be
because Rusev, regardless of scenario, has been the most over link of this entire Rusev Day gimmick. I mean, literally, it's Rusev.
Yeah, and the thing is, in English's reasoning can be simple. I got Rusev over. What did you do?
Yep.
Make him lose the United States title twice? I got Rusev a WWE title match. I mean,
yes, I could see that happening too.
And that's it's simple booking, which could force maybe Aiden English bring somebody with them, which starts a feud at Rusev, and it could be a purposely screwing, making Lana look bad.
What I wish would happen, and I know it won't, sadly, but what would be perfect and what would be so fitting, and once again, I know it won't, this is a far-fetched idea, but can you imagine if Aiden says, you want to have Lana, I have a female, debut Leva Bates?
Actually, there's someone better than that makes more sense. For those, you do know the internet's around. Aiden English is married to a daughter of a very famous wrestler, and she's actually wrestled in the past before.
I did not realize she's a wrestler. I did not realize
she was in the original NXT when it was TV when Seth Rollins was there and all that stuff. If he's married to her, it could, it's far fetched. But it's something that would be cool, and a lot of people would love to see a Guerrero back on TV.
But what the logical scenario that I see happening in this match is we have this match at the next pay-per-view, but it's going to be a pre-show match. I don't see Rusev and Aiden.
Oh, that's a pre-show match. That's barely a SmackDown match.
It is most definite, or even a SmackDown match.
Yeah.
But they ended quickly. Aiden disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't see Aiden being a big deal, really, if you want my honest answer.
No, I think Aiden
they
is.
built him long enough.
I think he's a good tag team guy. And I think you have Rusev beat him go away for a little while, him come back, give him some time off, come back to tag team with somebody. And it'd be a little spot for him. He was never going to be a champion, mid-card champion, the tag team champion as far as he'll ever get. And that's just the way it is. There's nothing. Not everybody can be a top star, and there's only so much room, and the less talented people got to deal with it. That's just the way it is. And it's how. So we're going to go to the main card. We're going to start off with the.
Wait, Ty.
Yeah.
You forgot a match.
What?
I was going to say, I thought there was 4
matches. Oh,
there's
another pre-show match. Cedric Alexander against
and Cedric.
For the Cruiserweight title, Cedric Alexander, the greatest professional wrestler to ever exist, against Drew Gulak. He's all right in the ring. He has a few holds he uses. I'm a little bit biased on that. I think everybody that's followed this podcast over the time span that's been around knows I am a big mark for Cedric Big Nuts Alexander.
I wasn't ready.
But who do you guys got and why?
I'm pretty sure this is a no-fire brainer. We all know, I think it's going to be a round robin for this one, but Cedric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can all agree Cedric Alexander's winning, right? We can all.
Like, honestly, I like Drew Gulak, I really do, but I just don't see it happening.
So, my pick.
The man likes
I picked Drew Gulak.
What?
Oh, interesting.
You know why? What's his gimmick? Anti-high flying, right? Who did I say was going to get called up?
What?
Who did I say was going to get called up? Ricochet. What's Ricochet known for?
High flying.
That's the storyline right there. That's the only reason Drew Gulak is transitional champion for Ricochet.
Interesting.
It's that simple.
But the thing about it is, and I respect that, Ty, I really do, but I think Buddy Murphy's taking the title off of Cedric.
I would like to see, because I love Buddy Murphy. I'm glad he's getting some proper exposure finally.
Yes.
But I'm sorry, Ricochet's going to out-trump anybody on that brand is.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're Hideo Itami. I don't care if you're Jesus. Ricochet is coming, and he's taking the title. It's just the way it's going to go, and he's going to be champion for a long time until Neville returns, because Neville has to return because his contract is frozen until he does the rest of his contract. So that's just the way. And I'm sorry.
The thing about it is, and Triple H said it though, Neville, I believe, is going to be part of NXT UK.
Yeah.
Unless they have him work both.
This might be really selfish of me, but I really want to see Neville against Ricochet.
I don't believe he went on Ricochet.
I really.
That would be awesome.
I would be a great match.
In my honest to God answer, the first ever, I don't know how fucking long the Cruiserweight title's been on the pre-show, but that will be the first ever main show pay-per-view match, and it would be stupid if they tried to put that on the pre-show.
Yeah,
that would piss so many people off.
It would piss Neville off because he wanted to get those pay-per-view royalties. So the reason why Neville's not there right now.
That screams main card.
Yeah. So next, going down the
I
list here.
think if that were to happen, though, save it for Mania.
Yeah, I'd say it for Mania. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
So next, it's the match that I honestly is good enough to main event any WrestleMania. I actually do see them putting it early in the card because it's going to be hot. It's going to be Daniel Bryan against The Miz.
So
who do you got and why?
My answer is Bryan. And here's my reasoning behind Bryan. And this actually makes sense. I don't know if you guys are aware, but Brie has been talking about getting back in the ring. Maurice looks back in ring shape. Let's have a mixed tag match.
Just got to lose that baby weight.
She already has, it looks like.
Oh, has she?
Yeah, it looks like she's already done it.
You know what?
Let's have a mixed tag match. Like, seriously, it screams mixed tag match.
Yeah, you can do a mixed tag match next pay-per-view. Connor, what do you got and why?
See, this rivalry is not. This is not the end of this rivalry. It's going to keep going for quite some time.
This isn't.
And I'm going to go with Bryan winning the first match, and Miz just losing his shit and just be like, oh, like, because he's just so confident he's going to win. So Daniel Bryan wins match, pay-per-view match 1.
The Miz wins.
Ooh.
I'll tell you why. Because, in my view, The Miz is going to be the guy that dethrones AJ Styles.
Okay.
And I think they're going to have Bryan against.
Styles?
I think Bryan and The Miz are going to be the WWE title match at WrestleMania. And I think it's going to start here. The whole story for the rest of the year will be Daniel Bryan returned and he failed. He could not beat The Miz, the guy who the past 10 years he said he was better than. And that's going to be the whole story.
That would be a fantastic story. And I agree 100%. And also, the other interesting build-up. And can you imagine Miz saying this in a promo? And I swear to God, I hope he does. Because if we were to do something like that, The Miz has to go into the fact that when Bryan was champion, he got injured.
Yeah.
And Bryan's had a history of forfeiting championships due to injuries.
In the whole story, Miz could throw the perfect line. The perfect line Miz could really throw out. They made me champion because they know I'll be here.
Yes. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
There has to be something along those lines.
Yeah, it's just.
And then I could see Cole and the commentators going, will we have another WrestleMania? Will we have another WrestleMania? And then I could hear Cole going at WrestleMania, and we have another WrestleMania, and the crowd chanting, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it would Bryan win the title back, and it's perfect. I think, and Miz deserves another title run. He hasn't had one since 2011. He made the Intercontinental title mean something.
Yes, he
The
did.
Miz is the best talker in professional wrestling, and I'll say that 100%.
Yes, he is.
The Miz made people who have hated him for years like him because he's proved you don't have to have 5-star matches to be successful. Miz, he's not a perfect wrestler. I wouldn't call him great in the ring, but he's good enough. And he could tell a story good enough. And I really appreciate that about the Miz. And it works well with Miz and Bryan is because casual fans, they hate the Miz so much. And Daniel Bryan's the working man's guy. He's just like you. You want to beat Daniel Bryan. He's small. He has a scruffy lumberjack beard. He has shaggy long hair. He's overcome every odd. And the Miz, he's a Hollywood actor. He has a hot French wife. He was a reality TV star. It's just it mixed so well. But enough of that. Let's get to the worst match on the card: Finn Balor against Baron Corbin. Who you got and why? Not like it matters.
My honest answer, and the reason why it's simple, I agree with Ty on the fact that this feud should have ended, but for shits and giggles, Demon Balor comes out, Demon Balor gets the win. Because it's SummerSlam.
It's just, Connor, it doesn't matter who wins. That's stupid. It's really dumb.
Alright, I'm still. Okay, I'm good. Like you said, this match, or this rivalry should have already been over. In my opinion, it should have never even began.
Baron Corbin shouldn't have a contract, okay? I'm just going to say it. No one else has the balls to say it. I'll say it.
Okay, I like using him on my game and all, but, in real life, he kind of sucks.
He's really bad.
He does kind of suck.
Kind of. No, he really sucks. There's no kind of about it. He's really bad. Um, you pick Balor, Connor. I hope.
Yeah, of course. I think Balor for
Okay,
sure.
Finn Balor's winning it. The whole angle is gonna be Balor's demon, blah blah blah. Which I don't see the point. He does the same moves. He wrestles the same way. There's no difference. He just puts on a little face paint. Be more aggressive, then.
I know.
If you're gonna do it,
I
be more aggressive.
completely agree. He needs to be like way more aggressive as the demon.
Yeah, like what's the difference?
Flashy moves, have different finishers. Like maybe pull out the 1916. When was the last time Finn
Or
ever did that?
at least do the Bloody Mary fucking Brainbuster used to do. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's just I don't
agree.
care. I don't care about this feud. I don't care about this match, and I'm really starting not to care about Finn Balor. He hasn't done anything really useful since he won the Universal title. That was 2 years ago. Some of it's bad booking.
I know.
It's bad booking, and I get that. But he's, you got to push the needle a little bit, man. You can't. You're not. Can't remember the last time he was in a meaningful storyline. To be honest with you. But yeah, next match we have for the United States title. Another match I don't really care about. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jeff Hardy. Who do you got and why?
Nakamura because Randy's screwing Hardy.
Yeah, pretty much. You, Connor?
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, see, the real danger in this, we just hope that Randy Orton washes his hands before he comes out, because we don't need none of that.
I'm good.
No enhancements needed. The next match is going to be the better woman match of the night. Carmella, who should not even be a champion. I don't know why she is. Weird.
Thank you.
And why she's beaten Asuka. She's beaten Asuka twice, which I still don't know why. Versus Becky Lynch, my favorite redhead in the world, and the women version of Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair.
Okay, so I am going to be realistic, but I really do want to say, honest to God, I want Becky to win.
Please.
Charlotte's winning.
She's most likely. She is.
Hands down, Charlotte Flair is winning. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but she has been a focal point of the women's division with Evolution coming along. I cannot see Becky being the champion going into Evolution. It has to be Charlotte.
Your turn, Connor.
I still want Becky to get it. Like, she gets it, and it's like just a really good feel good underdog movement. Like, okay, yeah, she was the first SmackDown Women's Champion, but it's just been so long. I feel like this is her time again.
Okay.
So Becky, yeah.
I think Carmella wins.
Well, damn, we all had.
I tell you why. The whole story going into this is Becky Lynch going to turn heel. Is Charlotte Flair going to turn heel? We lose. The fact here is, what if they both cost each other the match? You not telling me Carmella's just not going to roll one of them up? Get a cheap win?
So the thing about it is Carmella is by far, and I saw earlier today a meme about this, but she is basically, and I'm going to say it, I have the balls to say it, and I will gladly say it, she is the Jinder Mahal of the women's division.
She is. She is.
She's going to lose the championship, and nobody's going to give a fuck about her after she loses the title.
I want Becky Lynch to win, but in my head, I see Charlotte going for the figure 8, Becky Lynch pulling her out, then Becky Lynch trying to put this armor on. The whole match is going to be Charlotte and Becky beating the hell out of Carmella, and they're going to cost each other the match just for Carmella to steal it.
Yeah.
And you know why I think it's going to happen? All these reports that Asuka's leaving, that walked out from SmackDown. I think in a couple weeks before Evolution, I think Asuka returns and beats Carmella for the title.
Please.
Okay.
I think that's the whole goal, is to get people thinking Asuka's gone. She's going to win the title. They're going to give her moment at Evolution too. I think at Evolution it's going to be Asuka against Charlotte, the rematch.
Okay.
I think
that should main event.
Yeah, it should main event. So the next match is, in my eyes, will be the match of the night, and Dolph Ziggler with Drew Big Man McIntyre against Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Oh, I mean the guy that ate Dean Ambrose, but he says his name is Dean Ambrose, but I don't. Yeah, who you got and why?
Rollins. I have Rollins. Rollins is going to win. I think Ambrose is going to play a face Sunday night, but then I could either see during the celebration of Rollins winning the title or the night after Ambrose turning heel.
Okay. What about you, Connor?
See, that almost makes me want to change my prediction. But I say that Dean costs Rollins the match, Dolph retains, and then those two just slug it out for like a good few months. So Ziggler.
My prediction is Rollins. Ambrose does not turn heel. Does not turn heel in Raw. Ambrose does not turn heel into the Royal Rumble. So I feel like that. Because I think the whole thing is on Raw. We're going to see a big tag team warfare between McIntyre and Ziggler, Rollins and Ambrose. We'll see a lot of singles matches, tag team matches, weird matches. It will just be. I think at the next pay-per-view, it might be a tag team match with those two teams. I don't think they want to turn Ambrose heel right away because it's predictable.
Truthfully, though, the other idea I have, and I could see WWE pulling it. I doubt they will, though, but it will be interesting. And I'm surprised nobody has mentioned his name yet on this, but we have to. Where does Roman fall into all of this?
I think Roman's going to have nothing to do with this part, because Lesnar. But I do think, it's weird when you think about it. What will Roman do? The Shield. I think they'll try to keep them away from Roman. I think they'll try to keep them away from Roman. I don't think they're going to try to push it. I do think this might lead to a triple threat match at Mania. The triple threat match we deserved a couple years ago.
Okay.
For the title.
Okay. I could see that, but the thing about
the reason why I predict the Rumble.
Every goddamn fan is going to clamor because the last Shield reunion, let's be real, flopped.
Well, to be honest, it flopped because of the injuries. Roman was injured the original return. He got sick, so it kind of that messed it up. Then when Roman came back, Dean went down. So it's kind of like the injuries cost them any momentum they had. I think you do the Shield match at Mania, and the perfect way to set it up, and how I have Ambrose turn heel at the Rumble, have, in the match, have the final two be Rollins and Bryan, and Ambrose come out and eliminate Rollins. Pick his moment.
Okay.
Pick his moment. Just pick his and explain why. Explain the past three.
That makes sense because also I don't know if you remember, but we were talking about the idea of Bryan versus Miz for the World Championship.
Yeah, and have that be a thing where Ambrose could explain why. How he's waited years to do this to Seth Rollins. Make Seth Rollins feel what he felt. It makes perfect sense. But so next match, Braun Strowman against Kevin Owens. If Braun Strowman loses in any way possible, Kevin Owens will win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Who you got and why?
My honest to God answer, because I can see a screw job finish happen. I am going to say Owens, and I say Owens walks out of Money in the Bank. I mean, not Money in the Bank, SummerSlam as Universal Champion.
Connor.
Gotta disagree. I gotta go with Braun.
Why?
Like maybe maybe that's just me hoping too much that Braun will be champion soon, but I just can't see them like halting the amazing momentum he's had. So I gotta say Braun wins it.
I say Braun wins because of Kurt Angle.
Ooh.
Kevin Owens will win by countout. Kurt Angle will restart it. Kevin Owens will win by DQ. Kurt Angle's going to restart it, and it's all going to lead to Strowman finally winning.
Strowman eventually winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle won't let Owens.
Like that to happen.
Yeah, it would be an Angle.
Truthfully, guy.
Which I think that will lead to Survivor Series being Team Stephanie against Team Angle, with Owens being the leader of Team Stephanie.
Okay, that makes sense. And also, the other thing that makes sense on the standpoint, tie up what you were saying in honor of Strowman winning, is that house shows in autumn are currently billing Reigns versus Strowman.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that's a spoiler, but that is a given match that has been built.
Yeah, it's been advertised on the house shows and a couple of tours. So next match, a match I don't really care for. It's going to be good, but we had the Bludgeon Brothers, the worst tag team name of all time, against the New Day, who could possibly win their 8,000th tag team title on this evening. Who you got and why?
My honest answer, and because I know Vince and I remember them talking about it, but I am going to say New Day. I don't think they're going to break up New Day yet, simply because New Day is that over. New Day is currently a cash cow. Would I love to see New Day break up? Yes. I don't think it is the time yet. I think they are going to break the tag team title record of whatever, how many titles they said it was or something, and then they're done.
Okay. Connor.
I gotta go with the Bludgeons. Like, I just don't. Maybe that's just me just not wanting another New Day reign, but
I don't blame you, Connor.
I don't know. I'm so happy that Harper and Rowan finally got the titles, and I just don't see them losing just quite yet.
Okay.
So yeah, I got Bludgeon Brothers.
Well, it's time to get those pancakes out because the New Day's winning those tag titles, and I'll tell you why. It's a simple answer, really. The Bludgeon Brothers aren't interesting. No one cares. They're not. Their ratings are low rated. Let's be honest. Without Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are just two big monsters that can't talk.
True.
Without Bray Wyatt, you don't care. They can be as scary and do a bunch of big moves, but when you talk about entertaining, I'm sorry, you can dislike the New Day, but the New Day are way more entertaining, and the New Day have way more fans. The kids love the New Day. The New Day are profitable, and
don't get me wrong, I actually do like New Day. I really do. I like all of them individually. And I think that Big E will be a champion, like a singles champion again, hopefully soon. I do like them. I just don't want to see them as champions.
I think I want them as tag team champions just so they can face the Usos again. That's all I want. I just want to see that match again. I just want to see it again. I just love that when they face each other.
Oh my God, yes.
Like they have such good matches, they do. But I'm just.
But who's left of the Bludgeon Brothers to beat? They've beaten the Usos. They destroyed them. I mean, the SmackDown Tag Division is not deep. You have the Usos and the New Day.
That's kind of true.
I mean, Ty Dillinger and R-Truth, and Ty Dillinger's injured.
Technically, we do have the Bar and we do have Sanity.
Yeah, but I just don't. I don't want to see the Bar in a feud with two guys that can't talk. Because the Bar are sarcastic heels. Yep. And they work well with people that can talk.
Exactly why I think I agree with you, Ty. We are getting literally a repetition of what happened last year again in the tag division.
Yeah, it is. The New Day could have great matches with the Bar. And many teams, I just don't. The Bludgeon Brothers wrestle a style. They have there's no storyline to them. They're just there. Like they're my biggest issue is when you're tag team champions and you're still facing jobbers in your matches because you have no story. Um, and to me, it ruins the value of titles when you do that. Oh, we can beat jobbers.
I agree.
It just don't.
I completely agree with that as well.
I'd rather you beat R-Truth and somebody than two jobbers because at least you're beating.
I feel that when they beat two jobbers, it's like, and this is a shot at creative, but it's like, oh hey, we're desperately trying to get our champions over. Okay, let's have them look like monsters and beat two jobbers.
The thing is, the two jobbers they pick are always the scrawniest people in the world. Like, you don't even think they're wrestlers.
Even, like, guys who stand a credible chance.
You don't even think they're wrestlers. You just think they're cameramen that are just trying to get an extra few bucks.
Yeah, that really bothers me.
Even more is that while they're beating jobbers, New Day just won a tournament.
Yeah, so it just makes you want New Day to win it. Like, I don't care. Like, Bludgeon Brothers, I love Harper. Rowan's always been average to me, but Harper's, yeah, he's a really good wrestler. But ever since Bray left, there's no story with them. They're just there. Like, ooh, we're monsters. We beat people up. And that's it. Yeah. There's no other thing there for me to care enough. Okay. Well, I digress. Let's go on to the next match that's listed on Wikipedia because I don't feel like searching shit. AJ Styles defending his WWE title against Samoa Joe. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe have wrestled matches in Ring of Honor together. They have wrestled matches in TNA together. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe have been bonded in their careers for over a decade together. And finally, who would have thought 10 years ago we would see AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE title? Who do you got and why?
I'm kind of put in a situation kind of like Connor was earlier where I'm really in the middle. I really want to say Samoa Joe's getting the win. I really do. I want to say Joe's getting the win simply because in October at Hell in a Cell they have filled and it's leaked. One of the matches advertised is Joe versus Styles in Hell in a Cell. So how's that match going to happen? Either A, Styles retains at this pay-per-view, loses in September at the September pay-per-view, because it makes no sense for Joe magically to get 2 rematches for a title.
Well, you could easily have Styles beat Joe, Styles face someone else, and Joe get a rematch, like beating somebody at the next pay-per-view. Maybe like Joe beating Jeff Hardy or some Randy Orton or some crap like that. Like that, there's a possible way. So you're going.
I truly think, and this is my honest answer, and I wouldn't be surprised if WWE does this. Styles is already so close. Why not have him beat Punk's record?
Because they want Lesnar to hold that record. That's why. They want Lesnar to have it so he signs again.
Okay.
That's why.
But the thing about it is that it's the Universal Championship, and I'm sorry, I don't count the Universal Championship.
Yeah, they don't care what you count it as.
Universal Champion, not WWE.
They only care what they count it as. They don't care what the fans count it as. It's a difference. They just want people to forget about CM Punk, and they're trying everything they can. It's just not. So you're going with Styles. Connor, who do you got, and why do you have them?
This is probably the hardest match for me to pick because I'm a fan of both, and I don't know. I feel like, and it would make sense for either man to win. Like, yeah, Styles has been like so good for so long, but then at the same time,
so is Samoa Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Like at the same time, Samoa Joe's been really building that momentum, so it's really hard to decide. But I think I got to go with Joe.
That's
I
shocking.
think Joe gets it and surprises everybody.
I say Styles because I told you I think Miz is winning the title. From Styles, I think it's going to be one of the best wrestling matches we've seen all year. Intended to be at that kind of another company. It's going to be great. It's going to be phenomenal. Pardon the pun. I just don't see Joe winning. I just don't. I think they're saving it for Miz. I just, in my heart, I feel that's where Styles loses to make it mean something. I think it should be great. I think there's going to be many times in the match where you think Joe's going to win and he's not. I think at Hell in a Cell, Joe will get a rematch. But yeah, we'll see from there. But that's how I feel. I think Styles. Next match for the Raw Women's title is the hottest woman in the world. I only know that because a bunch of 13-year-old kids told me that. Alexa Bliss. And Ronda Rousey. Who do you got and why?
I'm sorry. I'm going to be that guy. I know your prediction earlier, but I'm still saying it. I think there is no chance in hell Bliss is walking out champion. My answer is Rousey.
Connor, how are you going to be wrong today?
I just can't see. I gotta agree with Josh. Like Ronda, it's Ronda. This is Ronda's time. This is Ronda's moment. This is Ronda. Like, just no question in my opinion.
So to refresh people, I think Shayna Baszler is going to screw Ronda Rousey, and Alexa Bliss is going to win. I'm going to tell you why. I told you why Shayna's going to do it, but I'm going to tell you why Ronda has to lose. Why she should not walk out as champion. What has been Ronda's gimmick since she came in? An emotional badass, right? That would be the best terms to say what she is.
Yeah.
She hasn't. The whole thing is she hasn't realized the WWE style yet. And her first two matches against Nia Jax and against Stephanie and Triple H was all about she was an underdog pretty much. She has not been here. But the story of it I'm talking about is Stephanie McMahon doesn't want her as champion. Stephanie McMahon sends Shayna Baszler after her. Stephanie McMahon knows she can't beat Ronda Rousey. You think Stephanie McMahon's forgotten how Ronda Rousey attacked her arm on that Monday Night Raw at WrestleMania? You really think that they dropped that angle? She's sending. I feel she'll send Shayna Baszler, and that's what all lead up. Rousey will face Baszler at Survivor Series, which might lead to Rousey against Charlotte Flair, who I think is going to join Stephanie's little crew thing at Mania. But Alexa Bliss is going to walk out. She won't be champion long. Don't sit there and think I think she's going to pull it out. No, I think they're going to do something on Monday Night Raw that's going to make a lot of fans cry. It's going to be heartwarming, and I think Natalya is going to beat Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title. I think that's how they should do it. It's where we should go. Rousey does not need that title yet, and putting it on her this soon is not going to make people happy. But yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Plus. Main event. There we go. It's for the Universal title. With a 3,890th time, we have Brock Lesnar, who has all the enhancements in the world, against Roman Reigns, who still, after 4 years, has not grabbed the charisma from The Rock. What do you got and why?
My answer is Roman. I believe Roman wins regardless, simply because Roman should win. Roman should be the one to beat from Lesnar. They've been trying it for God knows how freaking long now.
4 years.
And then, seriously, Seriously. But then I think Roman's going to get screwed because I think we're going to actually have a fight. I do. I really believe that this match is going to be a fight. It has to be a fight because Roman has to be fatigued because it's a God-given. Kevin Owens or Strowman, either or is cashing in that money in the bank.
I don't know. The
reason why I say Kevin Owens is because I cannot see Paul Heyman working with a babyface champion. I can't.
I don't. The thing is, I don't see Strowman being a babyface. I'll explain later. Connor.
So, who do I got?
Yeah, who do you got? And if a cash in happens or not.
Yeah. So, Paul screws Brock. Roman wins, and then Roman just kind of like looks at Paul's like, "What? You actually helped me?" And Kane,
Kane. He's the mayor. What are you talking about?
I said Kane. I looked at his name.
He said Kane. Out of nowhere, Kane just shows up and just starts chokeslamming people. Come to my county, folks.
I looked at Kane's name and said it. And then, Paul's just laughing, and then Roman's just like, okay, hey, I'm champion.
It's Kane.
And then out comes out comes Strowman, cash in. Paul Heyman is now representing Braun Strowman.
So my pick out of left field, Brock Lesnar devours the big dog one more time and beats him clean in the middle of the ring, and the Roman Reigns experiment fails. And Brock Lesnar retains the Universal title. Paul Heyman's not out there. Why would Paul Heyman be out there? He's too busy making a scheme to screw Brock Lesnar. The lights go out, blah, 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 blah. Distraction-ish. Look at how you want to book it. So, Matt Riddle jumps the rail, takes out Brock Lesnar. Matt Riddle leaves, Braun Strowman comes out, catches in. Paul Heyman's with Matt Riddle. Braun Strowman is still a babyface. Braun Strowman is the Universal Champion. Brock Lesnar goes to UFC.
Oh, yeah.
3 birds, 1 stone.
Lesnar definitely leaves and goes to UFC.
Matt Riddle's made a megastar. Roman Reigns is on the brink of turning heel because he's lost again.
I see it.
And then you could do the 6-month story of Reigns trying to get the title. He might win it like at Rumble or something. Set the Shield main event for Mania. But yeah, that's how I book it. So we're gonna do another feature. Wood, who do you guys think is gonna have the match of the weekend out of NXT Takeover and SummerSlam?
My answer, man, I am gonna stick to it, but it has to be Gargano and Ciampa. They are going to sell the entire weekend of the wrestling we are going to watch.
Connor?
See, that one's really hard for me, but I think we're gonna be surprised, and yeah, we're gonna get a big. See, I just keep going back and forth, but because I really want to say Gargano and Ciampa, but I just think that Universal Championship match is just going to surprise us. I know, and I'm going to be the only person who says
4 years, and you think finally they surprise us?
Yeah, Strowman gets.
Well, neither of those are going to be the match of the week.
Everybody loves it.
Because the true match of the week is easily going to be Dolph Ziggler against Seth Rollins. Prove it again, one of the 2 best wrestlers in the business, and that's how it's going to be. They should main event every show, and that's just how it is. You know? I'm sorry. But yeah, so For the Love of Wrestling podcast, it's been like a 2.5 hour experience, something like that. Ethan cannot be with us this week. Hopefully, he's with us next week. Hopefully, he has time for us, like other people. Connor, Josh, Ty, take over SummerSlam next weekend. We will recap the week in wrestling. We will talk about other things. Enjoy wrestling. Don't watch crappy wrestling. Don't be a shitty fan. And remember, always boo Roman Reigns.